Shannon, in this segment, I know you're going to talk about the difference between an occupied home and a vacant home and the needs of staging. And also, we want to learn a little bit about you, too, the person behind this small business that is such a huge force in the real estate industry here in Rhode Island. I think you've done, 200 plus houses so far?
In the next week or so, I'm hoping to reach my 200th house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of happy home sellers. And on average, how much more does a home seller net when their home is staged?
I would say about 3% more conservatively.
3%. That pays for half of your commission, pretty much. I mean, 3% on a $200,000 house is $6,000.
Right, exactly. And it's not just that too. It's obviously they're selling a lot faster as well. So there are certainly dollars involved with selling faster that the seller would save. So,
So what else can you tell us before we jump into your segment about Premier Home Staging? What sets you kind of apart?
Sure. So we're sort of excited to be leading the way in Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass in home staging. Like we said, I've staged almost 200 houses. We've been doing this for about 5 years now. And I would say the thing that really sets us apart right now is we do own all of our own inventory.
That's huge.
So we have enough furniture to fill about 40 vacant houses at this point.
That's a warehouse full of furniture.
It sure is.
A lot of stagers are rent a center. They're going to rent it.
Right, they're renting, and that's costly for the client.
Yeah, and I just think that there's you got to start somewhere. I understand.
Sure.
But I think having somebody with 40 household worth of furnishings has the right piece for your house.
Exactly. And if we don't own it, we'll buy it. That's the other thing. We're always adding to that inventory. We're always keeping it fresh. But we do have every style you can think of. And so what happens is that the staging really ends up matching the style of the house, the demographic of the buyer, the age of the house. It doesn't look like someone just stuck some furniture in there from the garage, which is really important.
No. So why does all right, so if a house is occupied, so there's people in there.
Correct.
What do you do as somebody that would normally be bringing in furniture? What can you do to set their house up for a picture-perfect magazine type of appeal?
So with an occupied house, there are really two different services that we offer. The first is called a written consultation. That's where we'll come in, I'll walk through, I'll take photos, I'll take notes, and then I'll provide the seller with a really detailed written report of everything I would suggest they do. That's sort of the nice budget-friendly option. It's really a great bang for their buck. We've had a lot of clients really like that service. They have everything in writing. Then they can do everything at their own pace. So that's a really nice option. The second option for an occupied house is what we call a hands-on staging. And that's where we may end up bringing in some inventory if necessary. That's a nice piece that we own everything. If we need to supplement, we've had a bachelor who doesn't have a dining table in his dining room, those kinds of things. People, may have already sold some of their furniture, so they want to kind of supplement what they have. So that really varies what we'll do on the hands-on staging, but that's kind of the other option besides the written report. So there's two nice options for an occupied house.
So funny how you say a bachelor with no furniture because
Not a stereotep. But.
Well, it's true because I have no couch, I have no table in my house. Legit, I've got nothing. I've got my bed in my walk-in closet,
right?
Which is going to be complete as a California walk-in. I always wanted one, but no furniture. I got to get on that.
Which it's fine for the way you live, but we like to say that staging is obviously very different than living. So if you want to live with no dining room table, have at it. But when you're selling, you probably want to show your dining room as a dining room.
No, I'm actually buying a poker table off one of my clients.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely going to have that. So that's occupied, and that's very interesting.
Right.
Totally appreciate that take, and I agree with you 110%. You get a huge bang for your buck having Shannon go in there and tell you exactly how to get ready for it. Not to mention, it is stressful. Oh my God, where do I start?
I've had a lot of sellers call me, and that's their concern. Like, they don't know where to start, they don't know what to do, they just want me to come in. And that report's only about $300 usually, so it's a really great value.
Baby boomers, you guys benefit most from this because you've been in your house for 20, 30 years.
Exactly.
And that's actually probably one of my biggest clients is baby boomers, and one of my favorite to work with. I feel like I'm an old soul, by the way. I've been around before, even before baby boomers, but I don't know, whatever. But anyways, so long story short, you guys are relocating, you're moving, you've got all this stuff, you've got, all your kids' old things, boxes of stuff. Shannon is actually also an organizer in essence because she goes through, jots down a list of what to do, what to hit first, what's most important,
What to get rid of.
and is nobody that I would say is more qualified than Shannon to do this for you. So,
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
So, and then vacant houses, I guess, would be the
Vacant
next,
houses, yes.
right? So obviously if a house is vacant, that's where all of our inventory comes in. We bring in everything, and we do kind of the whole 9 yards. We do furniture, we do accessories, we hang window treatments, we hang art. So we kind of, it looks straight out of a magazine when we're done.
Absolutely. When I walk into a house that is staged, I can tell right off the bat who did it. It's either Shannon or it's not. But anyways, there's a big difference. As a buyer walking in, you've got to picture yourself living in that house. You can't, picture yourself living there unless you're a bachelor with lawn chairs,
Yeah. Yep.
So kudos to the nice job. And it's so funny because, like I said, your shirt that you're wearing right now is exactly like your Premier Home Staging signs and your Premier Home Staging business card. It's got polka dots on it.
I do like a good polka dot.
And you said that you didn't do that on purpose, but I think that naturally you just know how to mix and mingle all the right things together. So I think it's just a talent.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too, because we refer you out a lot.
That's
so I
right.
hope so too. So is there any other tips? Let's just say, look, it's the home seller's market right now.
Right.
Are there any tips, like free advice, that you can give out to anybody, like a little golden nugget that can really help somebody?
Well, I would really like to talk about the statistics that I have, showing the power of staging. Overall, our stage properties are under contract in about 20 days or less on average, and they sell for over 98% of the original asking price. And that's
great.
the original asking price, no
Yeah.
price reductions. And actually this year, with it being such a hot market, our properties have been under contract in a week or less, and
That's
they
amazing.
are selling for over 99% of the original asking price.
That's amazing.
So I think that really shows you the power of staging.
So let's compare that, though,
Sure.
so our listeners know
Yeah.
where the market is right
Right.
now. So the median home right now is selling at 95% of original list price.
Yep. So
Shannon
there's your 3-4%.
is getting 4
Over 4% more.
more. Again, on a $200,000 house, that's $8,000. That's
It's a
nuts.
lot of money.
And it's selling faster, so you got less mortgage payments, less taxes, less insurance, less utilities,
Less headache.
less chance the water heater could blow.
Right.
I don't know, but
Because I think the average days on the market right now in Rhode Island is somewhere around 90.
no,
Something like
it's
that, a
actually
little
down.
less?
It's around like 76 days on
Okay.
market. So, and you're selling yours in what, 26?
Right now, about a week.
About a
So
week.
7 days versus
So about
76.
a week. Wow. And plus, I know you work with some of the top agents in the state because, only, you got to have a good realtor that knows what they're doing to suggest to use a stager. If a realtor knows what they're doing, you have a vacant house and they tell you these stats and they tell you to do this and that, the realtor probably knows what they're doing. They've had experience. So you should definitely take that advice into consideration. And Shannon, if they want to reach you, I know you've got a wonderful website. How do they get to you?
So the website is staginginri.com.
Simple, easy peasy, staginginri.com. You can also check her out on the roundtableradio.com.